Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review, and today we're going to talk about the curious case of the Wii U. So I had an epiphany over the last month or two based on all sorts of weird little pieces of Nintendo news that I thought has all been pretty much good news, but a lot of people have been taken very negatively. And through that, as per usual, people have been overanalyzing the Wii U and Nintendo and its success or its failure and all these different things. A lot of the epiphany that I had that inspired this video was surrounding Twilight Princess and the initial negative reaction, but now the positive reaction with the game being released and everyone playing it, and the very high sales and the high reserve numbers. And then also last week with the Nintendo Direct and the reaction to Metroid Prime Federation Force and its kind of new form, if you want to call it that. There's a lot of things going on with those two sort of pieces of news, events that have happened for Nintendo over the last couple of weeks and months. And it just got me thinking so closely about the Wii U, which is something I've been doing for a while. If you know me, you know that I am what I like to consider an equal opportunity gamer. I own all three current platforms. I have a gaming PC, but I still prefer Nintendo to any other option. I think that the Wii U is the best platform currently available because it has the strongest library. And I just think Nintendo is just the best hardware manufacturer and software developer in the industry. Like, bar none, Nintendo's the best. They've been around the longest. They've been doing it the longest. And I think it shows with the quality of hardware and the quality of software. Yet, their current platform, which I think is great, and actually a lot of people think is great, has just been so unsuccessful. This isn't news. I'm not telling you something you don't already know, of course. Everyone knows that Nintendo and the Wii U have struggled immensely this generation against the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and the ever-growing PC market. And it's so baffling to me in so many different ways. Again, I love my PlayStation 4 and I love my Xbox One, and I fully support PC gaming. So even though Nintendo's my favorite, I'm trying to not make this seem like it's a picking sides kind of thing. And most of you probably know me, so you know that's not how I roll anyway. But I still want to get that out in case anyone new stumbles upon this video. It's not picking sides, but it still baffles me that the Wii U, which I think is easily the strongest and should be the most appealing console in the market, minus a few negative aspects, is doing so poorly against its competition, which I think, as great as they are, is offering nothing really special. So that's kind of what I wanted to discuss. I think that the Wii U is in its own curious case, hence the title of this video, The Curious Case of the Wii U, because I can't, after 3 coming up on 4 years, I can't really fathom why the Wii U has struggled as much as it did. Now, what I don't want to do is pretend like there aren't negative things that the Wii U has certainly done and Nintendo has done, so I can understand where some of the backlash has come from. A couple of months ago in November for the Wii U's 3-year anniversary, I actually made a video that was kind of celebrating the Wii U's 3rd anniversary, but also discussing both the ups and downs of the first 3 years. All of the good things that I think the Wii U has done, and all of the bad things that I think the Wii U and Nintendo has done, because there are quite a few. So I like to come at this from a fairly open-minded and unbiased or objective viewpoint. I think that video really kind of summed that up. And I'm carrying some of those ideas into this new quick video that I wanted to kind of share with you guys about the Wii U and what's going on and why it's just so weird that the system hasn't been able to succeed. What really gets to me, and I have a little kind of list here. I've got some bullet points here. One of the first things I wanted to discuss is the weird disconnect between the low sales of the console, but the insanely high quality of its library. And even of the system itself. I mean, the system sits here in 3rd place, even with a year head start on its competition, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. 12, coming up on 13 million units. The Xbox One is at 20 almost. And the PS4, I think, is around 35 or something insane. Like, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are doing very, very well. Wii U, in almost 4 years, has not even cracked 15 million. It's insane. But still, it's a system that most people and most journalists and most gaming websites and publications all recognize as a very quality system. It makes me wonder about how the Wii U will be looked at way down the road in many, many years, and maybe after another generation or two, if we even get generations in the future. That's a whole nother conversation. But it seems like, based on today's reception to the console, now that it's been out a couple of years, most people will tell you, yeah, the Wii U is an awesome platform. It's got great games. Some people will tell you that they really dig the controller. Other people won't. You know me, I love the gamepad, but I get that not everyone maybe feels the same way. But for the most part, people recognize it's a very smooth, clean running system. Nintendo's games look gorgeous. It has a lot of graphical power under the hood, even if it is underpowered compared to its competition, which, yes, is something that's held it back from being as successful as it probably could have, for sure. I totally recognize that. You know, and people know that there's so many amazing exclusive games on the Wii U. Everyone will tell you, yeah, the Wii U is a great system. It just doesn't sell. And that's fucking weird to me. Like, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, why can so many people with an objective viewpoint say, yeah, the Wii U is fantastic, but then so many people aren't buying it? It just doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it reminds me of the GameCube. Oh my God. Well, I guess the GameCube too, but more the Dreamcast, which was also a very, very unique scenario where that was a system that most people enjoyed and loved and were impressed by. And I knew a lot of people that had one, yet for some reason, it was an abysmal failure. It didn't sell very well, and it literally led to Sega having to leave the console market. Well, that and the weird mistakes with the Saturn and the 32X, but still, the Dreamcast was their swan song. It was their final attempt to kind of remain relevant in the console space, and it's so sad that they left, especially because they left coming off of what was mostly received as a very excellent system. Now, Nintendo, luckily, is not in the same case with the Wii U. Their system, while it's not doing that well, they're still profitable right now, which is something Sega couldn't say at the time. Nintendo is still turning a profit because of how smart they are with their hardware and software development, the fact that it's all exclusive and first party, so they get 100% of the profits, and the fact that the 3DS is still doing very well. So Nintendo in itself is in a great position, whereas Sega was not. Also, Nintendo had so much money coming into this generation because of the crazy success of the Wii. We all know about that. They had like a $15 billion bank account. Like, it was insane how much extra surplus cash they had. What's the people refer to it as, like a treasure chest or like a money chest? I don't know. They had this section of money that was basically set up to keep themselves safe, and they were able to use that to invest in developing the Wii U and moving the company forward. And, you know, it did well to get them, you know, off to a fairly okay start. The Wii U certainly came out of the gate and it sold 3 million units, like, you know, in the first 2 or 3 months by the end of 2012, when it came out. And that seemed like it all was going to go okay, but then, of course, that success didn't continue, and it became, sadly, a failure. So Nintendo is certainly in a much better place, and that also helps, you know, going into the NX, whereas we know, okay, the Wii U is finally coming to the end of its life, Nintendo's going to push forward with its new thing, and I think that because Nintendo did so well with the Wii and had so much money saved up and invested moving into just the Wii U's life cycle, that they were able to keep themselves afloat, and they probably very early on ended up kind of realizing that the Wii U wasn't going to last as long as they had hoped, and they need to move on to the next thing and do it pretty fast, which is why we're getting what seems like probably a 4-year life cycle for the Wii U. And, you know, that is a very, very curious case to me. I feel like the Wii U is probably something that is going to be, and I hesitate to use this term, but teaching Nintendo a lesson. And I don't want to say teaching them a lesson like Nintendo needed a lesson to be taught. They've been incredibly successful, and like I said, they make the best games on the market. And also the Wii U is still, again, like I was saying, regarded as a good system, so it's not like they needed a lesson taught, but I do think that they did learn a lot from the Wii U. It's a system that, based on its lack of success, yet still being very well received critically, I think that helped teach them, okay, you know what? We tried to kind of emulate what we did with the Wii. We kept it underpowered. We had this unique controller that worked fantastically for the Wii, and our software was great for that system in that generation as well. They tried to sort of borrow some of that, step up their game a little bit, but maybe not quite enough with the Wii U. And unfortunately, gamers responded, and they responded by saying, yeah, we're not really interested in buying your console, which I think is too bad. Now, there are other good elements of the Wii U, though, that I want to talk about that make this whole thing so very strange. This whole weird failure that is the Wii U so very strange. The software sales have been insanely well. Not only has the system been received as very quality, but the software sales are pretty insane. The attach rate is through the roof. It's got to be record-breaking attach rate. When you look at games like that are exclusive and first party, so again, only available on the Wii U, and first party meaning that Nintendo gets 100% of the profits from these games. They're not splitting it and sharing it with third-party companies and then another third-party developer like EA and Ubisoft and Activision and all these people. This is all first-party stuff. and the software sales through the roof. Look at Super Smash Brothers. Look at Mario Kart 8. Look at Splatoon. Bayonetta is a third-party game, but still sold very well. You know, when you look at those games, Mario 3D World, Pikmin 3, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and the new Super Luigi Wii U, like all those games sold in the millions upon millions, both domestic in the United States, North America, and worldwide. Those games, again, as I said, first party, only available on the Wii U, so that makes the library that much more quality, and 100% of the profits of those games going to Nintendo. Like, that's insane. Millions of copies on a system that has only sold 13 million units as of now. Some of these games came out 2 or 3 years ago when the system probably didn't even have 10 million units on the market. And they were still selling buku bucks out of these first-party titles. And you look at the attach rate. I mean, Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brothers at like, you know, four, I don't know, I'm pulling these out of my ass, but like 3 or 4 million worldwide probably for Smash and like 5 or 6 maybe for Mario Kart. Even if it's a little bit lower than that, when you look at that as a 13 million unit kind of selling console, that's like almost 50% for Mario Kart. That is like bordering on half of all Wii U owners owning Mario Kart 8. And that is something that no other fantastic game, third party or otherwise, on the PlayStation or Xbox has ever sold that well attach rate wise, percentage wise. So impressive, so insane. Oh, there's also the Wind Waker HD was another multi-million selling first-party thing. Yes, it's a remaster, but first-party sold very well for the Wii U. So when you look at those kinds of numbers, those software sales and attach rates, it's mind-boggling when you look at the ratio and the percentage based on how many units the Wii U has actually sold. Just imagine if the Wii U had 20, 25, 30 million units on the market now like it probably should have. Oh my God, that's 15 million copies of Mario Kart 8 right there. That's absolutely insane. That's like Mario Kart Wii numbers, and that was on a console that had 100 million sold. So there's a lot of good things happening on the software front. There's a lot of money Nintendo's making from that. All these sales are so great, yet no one's buying the system. It's like the people who own the system at least seem to understand how good of a system they have, how quality the Wii U really seems to be, because they're buying the correct games and they're supporting them. That's great. But why does no one else seem to see this? All these other people who claim to understand, yeah, the Wii U is a great system, but no, I'm not going to buy one. Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and Bayonetta and Hyrule Warriors, Mario 3D World, Pikmin, great games. Oh, I'd love to play them, but no, I'm not going to buy a Wii U. Who the fuck is saying that? Who are these people that love this system, love and review all these games so well, and then maybe just don't even buy the goddamn console? It is so mind-boggling. It's insane. The review scores, they also speak the exact same words that I'm telling you right now. I mean, look at all these games that I just talked about. It's not like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and Bayonetta are selling well and they're shit games, okay? These aren't like the broken Assassin's Creeds of the world. These are games that are perfect, very well made, and getting 8s, 9s, and 10s in many cases. These games are fantastic. Nintendo, again, still making the best software on the market today. They're making the best games available for any gamer to play, regardless of your affinity to any one plastic box. So, great sales, great attach rate, amazing review scores, everyone loves it, and no one's buying it. What the hell? It obviously has the best library on the market. And now you're talking to someone here who loves third-party games. I love my Destinies and my Resident Evils and my Halos. Well, Halos and third-party. What else? Mortal Kombat. I mean, you guys probably know me. I buy and support all these games, first party, third party, on all 3 consoles. I happily do, and I love that stuff. But you know what? The exclusive library and the first party content that Nintendo makes, I think, really speaks volumes and creates a stronger library than those other games. As much as you might like something like Evil Within or Destiny or what have you, like I do, it doesn't matter because it doesn't really create a specific special library for that console. But what Nintendo does, and what Nintendo has achieved on the Wii U, what the Wii U has available to it right now, is one of the strongest exclusive libraries any console, I personally think, ever has. And that's saying something because there's been amazing games in the past. There's been amazing exclusive in the past. And so many great consoles we've all lived through and played through that have awesome content and great libraries, exclusive and otherwise. But the Wii U just has this special perfect stack of amazing games that just can't be touched. There's a couple of crappy games. There's some shitty third parties. There's some really lame shovelware. That happens all the time. So it's not like 100% immaculate. But when you look at what's available that's quality and exclusive, it is insane. So all of these different details, all of these things I've just been yelling at you about the Wii U and the library and the sales and the quality and the reviews and all these things. That's what made me realize, after trying to process everyone's back and forth on Metroid Prime Federation Force, and they're back and forth on on Twilight Princess HD, which is fucking awesome, by the way. All of that stuff, it just made me realize I need to talk about that. I need to get this out. Like, it's obvious. We've all been talking about it forever. It's not new news. Again, this isn't a revelatory video I'm trying to make for you guys. It's just me, like, venting to you, the followers of the channel and anyone else on the internet who stumbles upon this. It's just me venting to you about my favorite system and my favorite company that is so fantastic and on paper seems to be recognized as an amazing system that everyone loves and everyone supports because they buy the games available for the system in frickin' mass droves, yet the system is a failure. It's not doing well. It's only sold 13 million units in 4 years almost. That's insane. And it's like, it's borderline not fair. It's kind of like, I don't want to say, oh, it's not fair, and make it sound like crying and like a baby whining thing, but it kind of isn't fair, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why are the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, two systems that I do own and enjoy, but that don't have a lot of excellent stuff happening on it? Why are they selling so well? Why are people buying them like crazy with nothing unique and special happening on those consoles? There are some great games on those consoles, obviously, but there's nothing special. And there's nothing unique about them. And it makes me really question what the gamer actually wants out of gaming today. It doesn't really line up. I'm not trying to make this anything where I'm obviously shitting on those two consoles or on PC gaming. That's why I keep bringing up and reminding you guys. I own them. I love them. Most of you know me, and this isn't news to you. But I still need to keep reminding you that I still like and support those systems, and there's great games, but it just doesn't line up with what the Wii U has available and what the Wii U has done. Nintendo has tried really, really hard. They have totally fucked some things up. They have done some stupid things. The marketing was terrible. The name was dumb. They had huge droughts with no games, and they have screwed up third-party relations so that they don't have those games available on their system. Those are all huge mistakes. Those are blunders by Nintendo, and obviously have led to a lot of the issues that the system has, and that's almost unforgivable. But look at all the other good things that the system has done and has available. All these things that I've talked about. Sony and Microsoft have fucked up a lot as well, so it's amazing how that hasn't impacted them the same way Nintendo's been impacted. But you know what? In summary, Nintendo has always existed in its own little bubble, and over the past years and generations, they've, I think, worked very hard to make that bubble more separate from the rest of the industry and its competition. I think that it's kind of what they want. And you know what? They're dealing with these problems and this failed Wii U and all these struggles and all this, yet still turning a profit. So obviously they're doing something okay. They're so smart business-wise, even when they make stupid decisions, that they can still make money off of a failed console. That's insane. I mean, kudos to Nintendo. Like, the only company that could probably really do that. So, like I said in summary, the Wii U is fantastic. Gaming is great right now, period. I'm loving all three of my consoles. You know me. I'm enjoying them all. But Nintendo is doing great as well. The Wii U is fantastic. I'm so sorry that it hasn't been seen as a success. I'm sorry it hasn't sold very well. I think it's a shame. And gamers probably a lot of them must have their heads up their ass and not really know what they're looking for with their gaming. And I just hope that Nintendo figures it out. I hope that gamers figure themselves out and understand what's really important and relevant to gaming going forward. And you know what? Whenever the Wii U is finally said and done, whether it's this year or next year in 2017, I'm going to wish it a fond farewell. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to also miss when it was the current console, because it's not my favorite console of all time by any stretch, but it's a great machine. It has awesome games, wonderful library, and I hope Nintendo figures it out for the NX going forward, So, I don't know. That's it. I'm going to stop this rant. I feel like it was kind of a rant, and just kind of call this good, but I really wanted to discuss what I think is the curious case of the Wii U and why the system seems to be so great and everyone loves it, but it hasn't been selling well. What a weird conundrum the Wii U is, and it'll be interesting to look back on it in like 5 or 10 years and kind of remember the Wii U. Remember that system? God, it was so great. No one fucking bought it. What the hell? That's going to be a really weird time in 10 years. But anyway, share your guys' thoughts about all this. Do you think I'm batshit crazy? Do you agree with me? What do you think of the Wii U? I know most of you guys who follow Rule of 2 Review are huge Nintendo fans, so good for you. You obviously recognize a quality system, and that makes me really happy. So thanks for tuning in. Share your thoughts below, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.